Hello, hello, Maria here, straight from my spot, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. It's Saturday, July 1st, a very important day for me, and for you too, because you're alive. But I got something awesome that I want to share with you. Two things. I'm going to start with the second one because it's shorter. Tomorrow, July 2nd, is my anniversary in this country. Yes, 27 years in this country. And I'm very, very grateful for all the opportunities that this country has provided to me, the amazing people that I met throughout all these years that have been anchors in my life, that have been supporters, that directly and indirectly helped me. So very grateful for being here, and I don't have any estimates of leaving this country because this is my home. This is my home. So, and I know this is also the 4th of July weekend, so thank you for the freedom. And by the way, this is it, freedom right here. This is my value number one. So this goes to the freedom that this country provides to all of us, for all the men and women that are fighting and keeping us safe, and also my own freedom. You know, without freedom, I wouldn't be able to perform the way that I perform. This keeps me afloat, and everything, or about almost everything that I do, is to prevent from this taken away from me. Which leads me to this awesome news that I have to share with you. And it's basically, it's a deck of cards, that I put myself to deal with, and then I had to deal with it. And it was a pretty ugly deck of cards. But today, 4 years ago, July 1st, 2019, is when I made a commitment to start paying debt that I incurred from leaving corporate finance and making a very good annual salary and a very good life to start my dream, which is Be Fab, Be You. If you're listening to this, you probably know that I started this company in 2015, technically 2014, but I didn't leave corporate until my last paycheck, I think, was February 2015. So I left in the circumstances that were not financially sound and smart for me to leave, and I'm fully aware of that. I took full responsibilities for it. At the same time, I got myself into some financial trouble. I decided for some reason to close my ears and my eyes to what the actions that I was taking, although I was in finance, and incur significant debt. And the debt wasn't because I was wasting money. No. I was investing. Like I said, I left corporate in a situation that I was not expecting to leave, actually, but circumstances arrived that I was going to be laid off no matter what. The company was not doing well, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take the leap of faith. To make that decision took me months of a lot of anxiety and stress, but I said, you know what, I have the education, I have the experience, so if it doesn't work, I'm going to go back to work. So, well, that was, 8 years ago, and I have not been back to corporate America for those means. So, well, from 2015 to 2018, took about 4 years. I incurred about $70,000 of debt, investing in programs and coaching and a new education to help me to be where I'm at today. And part of this 70 grand is not only the programs and investing in actually expenses of living, because the business didn't give the revenue as quickly as I wanted. So I put all these investments and charges to these amazing credit cards that I had. Those that are kind of when you had a 800 plus credit score that you get 12 months, 18 months with no interest. Yep, that's what I did. I started piling up the shit, part of my language, piling up in there with hopes that, in time to pay, I would have, generated enough money. Well, that didn't happen. So I started incurring hefty interest rates, interest expenses on top of that. So by my birthday, I remember in October 2018, I was in a terrible spot. Honestly, I was not emotionally and mentally well. I was probably depressed. I couldn't see the light in the end of the tunnel, and most people didn't know that because I didn't show it off. A few people knew what I was going through, very few people in my circle of trust. That but anyway, it was also in the end of 2018, or towards the end of 2018, that I started reading a book that really was instrumental for me to turn things around. This book is called The Big Magic, and in that book, Elizabeth Gilbert says, folks, get a job so financial stress doesn't get into your way of being creative and doing the things that you love, which is your true calling. That's what I decided to do. I tried to go back to corporate. I applied, but really my heart wasn't in it because I was going to lose my clients, and I didn't want to lose my clients. So in that same book, Elizabeth Gilbert says that it wasn't until she had the 3 books published and a 4th that turned into a movie that she stopped working the jobs. And she was a waitress, she was a bartender, and yada yada yada, all kinds of things. And she says, get a job, folks, get a job. So I put my ego aside. It was a very hard decision to do it, but I did. And I got a job in 2019 as a waitress. And it was July 1st, 2019, that I basically called the last financial institution that I owe money, which were about 7 or 8 at the time. Yes, pretty big trouble. And I made the agreement of a 5-year repayment plan. So at that point, they stopped harassing me. They stopped charging me interest and all that kind of stuff. I had been already to collections. I had put my credit score from 820, I think it was at the time, to the low 500s. Yes, folks, tough. I did it to myself. So I had this deck of cards. So what, right? So that's what I decided to do. So once I started this waitressing job, and I had monthly payments coming out of my bank account, I released the stress, because the stress that I was going through was really deterring my life. It had sucked my emotional and mental well-being, and also had sucked my ability to attract my ideal client. How in the world a health and wellness coach who is in the business of helping folks identify stressors that keep them from achieving optimal health was going to attract people if she wasn't in that place? So I had to come to Jesus again, and do that. So I put my ego aside. I started this job, and since then has been amazing, actually, to be honest, because I actually enjoy it. And like I said, the stress went down immediately because I had a plan. And I know that this plan was achievable, was reasonable. It requires sacrifices like anything else difficult in life. But you know what? I took full responsibility for it. And no problems there. So, while I was disappointed at myself, I also knew that I had to make the sacrifices. And so I could turn things around and be myself again, and live life the way I wanted to live again. So the news that I have to share with you today is that I beat my deadline. Yes. So 5 years would be July 1st, 2024. Well, I'm paid all out on May 15th, 2023. Yes, about 45 days ago. So I beat my own schedule by 13 months and a half. And I'm so, relieved, and I'm so proud that I did the right thing. It's about doing the right thing. Some people told me, why don't you file for bankruptcy? And I said, no, I used the money. Although I didn't waste the money, yet there are some services that I purchased in desperation and expensive stuff that I didn't use, but rookie mistakes. Look, I didn't go to Emory and pay, $100,000 for an executive MBA to leave it all to be an entrepreneur. That was not in my deck of cards. But other things, God put something in my path, and I changed that. So it's totally okay to change our paths, and it's totally okay also to go through these hardships, because these hardships got me to be a better person, to get stronger, and to even become a better coach. And to some ways, folks, to identify with those who actually have hit the bottom. Because I hit the bottom in 2018. I felt like I hit the bottom. And I was, like I said, not in a good place. And so getting this strength practically on my own to get back on my feet is not an easy thing. And again, I'm proud of it. So that's one thing that I wanted to share. Now you might be asking, how the hell did I get into that trouble, right? Well, yeah, it's not easy when you invest a shitload of money into a new career, and the more I got into this new career, the more I discovered my path, and to become a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, nutrition technology practitioner candidate, personal trainer, and several other things that it involves into starting a business. Yeah, it costs money. Did I make mistakes? Yes, I did make mistakes. Do I regret anything? Well, I don't regret leaving corporate and follow my calling, because I really have grown tremendously as a person, as a professional, as an individual, and I shared that with other people. I shared that with people that are close to me, that are my friends, close friends, and who are my clients and family members that are interested in getting involved into knowing what I am, although I'm thousands and thousands of miles away. But anyway, so it is possible. Whatever difficulty you're going through, it is possible to turn around. There is always more than one answer. Now, there are a few things that I believe that I did it right, and I want to share with you that I think are important, and that applies to health and wellness. So the steps that, when I look into hindsight, that really helped me were, first of all, establish a plan, with SMART goals. And SMART goals, yes, it is specific, it is measurable, attainable, reasonable, and, time bound, right? This is SMART goals, and everything that I did to pay this debt back, that's it. It includes SMART goals. So, number two, that's number one, establish a plan, because then we can see the light in the freaking end of the freaking tunnel. So number two is we have to put our ego aside. We have to leave the ego at the door sometimes, because look, I have an undergraduate in finance, I have an executive MBA from an excellent school at Emory University, and now you're freaking waitressing? Yeah, yes, it was hard for me to swallow too, but you know what, we gotta leave our ego, because my goal is to continue to spread my passion and to guide people to live their best life. And that includes, starting with their own sense of freedom, and oftentimes people are not well, and their freedom from being somebody who they are no longer, who they were before. They want to restore their health, their energy, their vibrancy, and they want to be catalysts for their kids, to become, memorable for something big they did. So this is that's what I love to do. Coach people that way, to lift them up. So, I had to put my ego aside to create space for opportunities. And let me tell you, I met tremendous, I had so much fun. I'll tell you more about it. So number two is leave the ego aside. Number three, okay, is stay committed to your case. And that is the case is paying the freaking debt was my case. So you know what? You gotta show up. Whatever is the problem that you're putting yourself to solve, you gotta show up. You gotta show up. That's 50% of the battle. And then you stay committed to that mission. What are you trying to achieve? Day in, day out. That's how you show up. Look, I haven't had very few breaks, okay? I work Sunday to Sunday. This side work is Friday nights, Saturday night, Sunday night. Okay, so I don't have a personal life. Sacrifices. Commitment comes with sacrifices sometimes, and that's okay. It's temporary. That's what I kept telling myself, and that's what I keep telling myself. It's temporary. So number four, we gotta work hard now. We gotta do the work. that we put ourselves so we can achieve the thing that we want to achieve, and we can go to the next chapter, next freaking chapter, you know. So also, number 5, we gotta eliminate distractions and the naysayers. Yes, distractions that are in the way for us to achieving that goal. Whatever plan of attack that you put in place, you gotta eliminate the distractions so you show up, okay? And the naysayers, screw them, okay? I know people in my prior community that I heard saying, you know what, Maria should go back to corporate. You know what? Screw them. Screw them. You know, they're not part of my life on a daily basis anymore. And that's okay. Sorry for being bold over here, but sometimes we've just got to take care of ourselves. And the calling is mine, okay? God put this calling on me. Whatever you got, it's on you. It's not for anybody else to understand what the hell is it. Right? I had to understand that. For a while I was resentful. I was really resentful for people that were in my life before I left corporate. Until, you know, I got that message, hey, the calling is yours. Don't expect anybody to understand. You do your thing. Stay focused. And then I was able to let it go. It's mine, it's not anybody else. So, number 6, you gotta assure that people in your life are supportive, caring, loving, and non-judgmental. Period. Period. Okay? That's it. There is no room. There is no room for a poor environment around you. Which leads me to number 7, which is build. You gotta build. I had to build an environment to keep me motivated, to give me the strength, physical, mental, and emotional, to stay the freaking course, because there is an end to it when you have a plan and you stay with it. Okay? Number 8 and final here is believe in yourself. I had to believe in myself. And you know, growing up, there's not much of this kind of believe in yourself. There's not much of that kind of teaching, you know. And not to blame my mom. It is just, you know, she didn't receive any of that either. What I received is you got to work hard and you got to do it. You got to show up. So thankfully, I got this from my mom. And you know, about the believing in myself and having confidence and self-esteem, now that was not part of my upbringing. But to discover this on my own, and people around me who showed me the path to do that too. So you know what? We gotta believe in ourselves, and we gotta believe that our set time is coming. Okay? There is a Joel Osteen. I'm not sure if you like the guy or listen to his stuff, but there is a sermon that he's called the set time. You have no freaking idea how many times I listen to that set time, because I get all pumped up. My set time is now. And there is another part, you know, that he talks about. It takes 7 years, every 7 years. So technically I left corporate in 2015, so my 7th year was 2022. And shit really started happening in 2022 for me. You know, I got great opportunities that really helped me speed up paying this debt as well, which I'm very grateful for this specific one individual. And she is listening here. She knows who she is, because I thanked her many times before. But she saw things in me that I kind of didn't. You know, and she says, you can do this. I've seen you. You have the skills. Go at it. You know, in corporate, actually, training and corporate coaching. And I says, wow, actually, I can marry the two best worlds, you know, which is corporate, which I always loved, and then the coaching and motivating and inspiring people and guiding them to their best self. So I united both of these skills to give people also different venue of wellness, right? Because corporate, you know, is, you know, the stress that corporate brings to our lives can be extremely significant. And anybody and everybody who comes to me who are still a busy professional, which is most of my clientele, okay, they are having significant levels of stress at their work. So in order for them to thrive and to unstuck, I have to help them regardless to unpack these stressors at work, so they can create this space to do the things that are going to elevate their health, right? To improve their nutrition, to make time, to carve the time and commitment to exercise, to implement, you know, mechanisms to lower their stress, improve their sleep, and have more fun in their life, and many other things that encompasses a health journey. So the bottom line here, folks, is this. I wanted to share this with you because of the date is very important for me, although I achieved my paying my debt, a month and a half ago, but it's the date, July 1st. So what I wanted to highlight with you is this. Whatever you're going through, there are ways. There's always more than one answer to any problem. John Maxwell says, one of my virtual leaders and mentors, he says, ask anybody to come up with 3 solutions for every complaint they have. That is going to force them to think about it. So, that's how I lead as well. I lead myself. Each one of us, our own chief health officer. That's what I promote my clients to become. Chief health officers. We're all leaders, and we all need the accountability. We need the support. We need to build our environment to help us succeed. It's not an easy journey. And when it comes to financial stress, that is not an easy journey either, but I'm proud to have done the right thing, to stay committed to it, and to have knocked this $70,000 out. Now, if you ask me, am I going to keep this, job? Heck, yes, I am going to keep this job. You know why? Because now a new chapter is started for Maria. This chapter of growth. Yes, growth and accumulation. And yes, I have saved some money since then, actually throughout the whole thing. But, so I'm going to use this job to continue to have fun. Yes, I have fun. I socialize. I give people value. Look, sometimes I get into some serious conversations with people, especially if it's slow at the job. And some people cry, some people say, wow, I had no idea why I was coming here today, but now I know it because we had some deep conversations. I've been a source of inspirations for people. So I focus on that. I focus on showing up and doing my best and having fun. So when I have fun, people I'm helping over there, their tables, taking their orders. It's not about taking the orders, it's about the experience. I'm building freaking experiences. And some people said, I'm waiting for Maria. Who is Maria? Maria over here, that's who I want to sit with. And that makes my heart sing, really. So I'm good at what I'm doing over there at this side gig. So, and by the way, I get at least 10,000 steps, each night I work. Yeah, so I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, starting normally at 4 o'clock, sometimes a little earlier. And it's close to my house, so if you want to know the place, if you live in Atlanta, close to Vinings, let me know, and I'll be glad to help you over. And several of my peeps have come over, that I know and know that I've been doing this for a while. But anyway, no, I don't have any plans to give up on this job. Now, it does give me flexibility, right? Until I paid this debt, I became obsessed into paying the debt. So I barely gave any Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. I showed up every day. And then, my job as a coach is Monday until Friday afternoon, and then Saturday morning, and then Sunday morning. Yeah, there is barely any stops. And it's okay. I'm happy. I'm freaking happy again. I'm relieved, okay? The cross is I put it in the ground, put it in the freaking ground. And you can do too, whatever's going on, even if it's financial, if it is family, if it is your own health and wellness, it is possible, okay? So I'm now gonna use these funds, okay, to accumulate. Look, I'm behind the game here, I'm behind the 8 ball, right? I'm gonna be 49 this year. And while most people have some plan and have some serious money accumulated for their retirement, I'm not starting from ground zero, but not much in the pocket here. So I have some ground to cover. But you know what? I have no doubt that I'm going to cover. This has given me the strength and the motivation to keep going. And I know that's possible. Everything I know that I put my head into, my mind to it, I can achieve. And I know you can as well. It's a matter of how hard we want it. So now I'm going to how hard I want to turn this around and growth, right? Growth. And it's gonna, by releasing this stress, financial stress out of the way, it creates I remove this cloud, right? This dark freaking cloud over my head. So it creates space for greatness. Create space to be more creative at my job, to attract the people, to create new programs, to really focus. So that's it. So yeah, and you know what? Hey, I'm gonna start planning vacation again. You know, yes, I come to Fort Walton Beach over here and I love, love, love this place. But I wanna go back to my scuba diving. I wanna go back to going overseas again. So once a year, I'm gonna plan my budget for next year. You know, with one of these trips, you know, going somewhere. Because I miss those trips. And if you know me for a while, you know that I used to travel a lot. You know, big, exotic places. And so I'm gonna have to put this back. No, I don't have to, you know, I get to put it back. So, folks, cheers to freedom, okay? And by the way, if you wonder what this says, it says fruition. Fruition, so we work hard for fruition, right? So we're gonna get something great back out of it. So if I can do it, you can do it, all right? So stay committed, okay? Put a plan together. Leave the ego behind. Commit yourself to your cause. Work hard. Show up. You know, do what needs to be done. You know, eliminate the distractions and the no-sayers of your life. Assure that the people in your life, you know, they're supportive, caring, loving, and non-judgmental. So you can vent, you can talk to. And all you need is one person, at least one person, right? So then you build, you know, the environment for you to succeed, to keep you motivated, to give you the strength so you stay the course. And lastly, believe in yourself. And know that your set time is coming. So thanks for listening to this. And if you have any questions, if you have anything to share with me, if I can be a source of additional inspiration to you, please let me know. Love you all, and I'll talk to you soon, I hope. Bye-bye.